Hey guys, Coach Ari here at the Strong DNA. Today I'm going to talk about the plank. In our second video, I'm going to use one of my favorite tools, DBRT Ultimate Sandbag, and teach you how the muscles and body is supposed to move and where should we feel and how we can make this more challenging.
Today I'm with my best assistant, Coach Blondie, which she goes and counts the people when they walk here and she records every night. But today we want to continue our plank concept using another great tool, DBRT Ultimate Sandbag system. But let's go through the exercise first, okay? The Ultimate Sandbag lateral drag, it's basically you're in a tall plank position and you're pulling the bag to the opposite side each time, okay? Now, if we go on the standards of the plank, now this time the only difference is we're not going to be on our elbows, we're going to be on our full tall arm, okay? If you guys remember reference to the previous plank video, when we had our feet down and I say, imagine there is a piece of paper and you want to tear apart the paper to activate your glutes, we pretty much do the same thing, but this time to activate our lats. But before that, grab the floor with your fingertips as hard as you can. That will pretty much create more stable wrist and keep your wrist in a more safe format. Then as soon as you pretend there is a piece of paper underneath your hand and you tear it apart, you're locking your elbows and your lats are engaged. Make sure before you start, the bag is touching your knees. If you're away from the bag, it's going to change the aspect of the exercise. So make sure your knees are touching the bag. All right, hands down, tear apart the paper. My neck is aligned with my spine, left leg back. Grab the side of the bag and pulling it apart, pulling it to side or the handle. As you see, I'm keeping my arms straight. Why? Because as soon as I bend my elbow, I'm going to disengage my lat. The goal is that you perform this exercise without shifting your hip. I don't want to see any rotation or lifting the bag up. Sometimes people are doing this, and that's a habit coming from different tools. Our human body, the way that it's designed, we have our lats crossly in a cross pattern connected to our glute max. That means if I create a trauma on my left lat, you might see the result on the glutes, on the opposite side, all right? Or if I make my left lat strong, the glute max on the opposite, it's gonna perform better. That means I'm gonna have more stable hip. The reason the sandbag works better compared to the other tools, because by locking the elbow and having a sand or a bag full of sand to drag, it constantly keeps my lat engaged. That's where the performance goes high. I see some people, they drag a kettlebell. The problem with the kettlebell or a dumbbell is you can't create that tension. But because of the sand, a distributed weight over a bag and a weight that it shifts around, it causes that tension. So my lat's gonna get engaged. I rather you hold on a plank and do a shoulder taps rather than just dragging a kettlebell, because you pretty much cannot create that tension. If you don't have access to a sandbag, make sure you practice a shoulder taps. But the whole goal is you keep that hip stable. You do not want to shift that hip. And as you see again, I'm going to demonstrate very quick. I do not shift my hip. I have my legs apart. I'm locking everything down. My arms is stable. And I'm just dragging the back. The whole goal of the active plank. Remember, what's supposed to be stable, it's stable. What's supposed to be mobile, it's going to be mobile. And on your planks, your hip's supposed to be stable.
I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you're around Los Angeles, close to me, please make sure to stop by at the Strong DNA. If not, make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel so you get updated on the new tutorial and educational stuff regarding the fitness and human health.